Hey, welcome back. It's me, Mr. 4K, also known as Mr. Nintendo. Nintendo. I just like saying it. I just like saying that. I don't know, it just has a really nice sound to it, doesn't it? Mr. Nintendo. Nintendo. But it's just the way you say it. Like, it has to be Nintendo. 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 Anyway, speaking of Nintendo, obviously Metroid Prime 4. I've been very busy playing Metroid Prime 4. Um, been super busy playing this game, obviously. Um, and I know people have missed out on some of my videos. That's because they're not following, the bell button notifications. If you are subscribed to me, and if you click on that bell notification, I guarantee you, every video will show up on your feed. But if you're a fly by night, you see me, blah blah blah, and you saw one video of me having a negative opinion, right? And then you come back a week later, right? But it's okay. I'll address the fly by nights. I don't mind. He has the right to ask the question. Individual in the comment. What's his name? Tony 28 or something like that. It's a legitimate question. But the question was in a bad faith. The question was in a sort of like, what I mean by bad faith, it's ooh I gotcha moment. Basically, what he was saying is, well, actually, I can see it. I'm not gonna show it. Comment, you can see it yourself. I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay, it was on one of my previous videos that I did on the Metroid and why now the Metroid, it's a problem solving type game, right? So anyway, this individual's a Tony 28, ha ha ha. All right, Tony. I don't know what you're laughing at, to be honest with you. But anyway, I'm not gonna make any fun of you. All right, it's Christmas. Okay, I'm not gonna roast you unless you give me a reason to roast you. Then you'll end up on my public shaming. But anyway, he just says it was a genuine question, so I'm not gonna roast the guy. I'm not gonna bring out Ray Liotta because the guy is having a genuine question. All right, I'm not gonna go out Goodfellas on him. I'm not gonna pull Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta on him. It's just a genuine question, but it was a question in bad faith. It was the intent of that question was, "Ooh, I gotcha moment." But anyway, he said, just a question. I watched a video of this exact game. So he doesn't even know what this game is. So I know he's not a gamer. Okay, so this exact game, right? So he doesn't even know that it's a Metroid. He says, just a question. I watched a video on this exact game from you not long ago. Now you love this game. But you were saying in that video, thank God you didn't pay for the game and someone else did. Right? So I replied to him, yes. At the time, I didn't like the game. And I was doing a live stream. If you are subscribed to me and if you're watching my live streams, you would know that I was streaming a Call of Duty. Call of Duty Never Dies. Was it chapter 2 or something like that? So while I was streaming Call of Duty, friend of mine, member, KJNBA25, stopped by and we were having a conversation. I asked him, what games have you been playing? And he says, well, currently I'm playing Metroid Prime 4 and Flight Simulator on PlayStation 5. And I said, oh, really? You're playing Metroid Prime 4? So what's it like? I said, do you like it? Can you please give me your honest thoughts on it? Because I don't know how to feel about this game from what I have seen so far on the videos, right? I said, I don't like what I'm seeing based on what I have seen people playing. It looks repetitive, looks that the game it's hard and there's too many problems to solve in the game. You have to scan this, you have to scan that, right? Probably not my kind of a shtick. Anyway, he said, long story short, I like it. I like the graphics. I like 120 hertz refresh rate. He said I am not a like a gamer reviewer, like a journalist gamer reviewer, to give you like all the nuts and bolts, all the nitty gritty details about the game, etc., etc. Someone else can do that. It's above my pay grade. I said, okay, fair enough. And so he asked me, hey, would you like me to gift the game to you? Let me gift the game to you. Would you like me to gift it to you? So you can see it for yourself instead of just relying on what other people are saying, relying on a Metacritic, relying on, other individuals on YouTube and online. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, if you can, hey, look, I'm never going to turn down a gift. If you gift me a game, I'll try it. I don't care what kind of game it is. Even if it's the low budget game, like a game I never heard of. If you gift me a game, I will play it. You gift me a game, I'm playing it. That's it. I'm like a record player. Yeah, think of me like a record player, like a vinyl with a needle. You put the LP record on there. Think of me like a cassette player or a CD player. If you gift me a game, I will play it. I'm a player. I will play it. And then whatever opinions I give you, But anyway, so he gifted me the game, long story short. And at the time, I made a video on the live stream when I started playing it. I said, thank God this was gifted to me, because otherwise I would have never paid for this. I would never play this. Okay, if it was not gifted to me. Because I would never use my own hard-earned $70 cash to pay for something that I'm on the fence about, that I'm skeptical about. Would you pay $70 for something that you're skeptical about, that you're on the fence about? Of course not. This is common sense. All right. So he gifted a game to me. I started playing it. The first impressions were, okay, this is interesting. All right, cool. Beautiful graphics. 4K 60. Amazing with HDR. Love it. 120 hertz mode and 1080p. Love it. Use of these Joy-Cons. All of that is great. But, I got, stuck in some levels. All right. So I was like, oh my God, I'm stuck with this game, la da 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 da. I still wasn't really fully like in tune with the mechanics of the game. I was still having that same mindset. Oh God, this is like one of those dread games. Like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. Not my kind of thing, not my kind of shtick, right? So I was like totally like not happy. Like, and I said, well, thank God he paid for this. Otherwise, I would never pay for this. Because I was still trying to understand the mechanics of the game. And my first impressions are my first impressions. Because I didn't spend too much time. Plus, I was talking to people on the live stream, and I was focusing on the chat. And at the same time, I was focusing on the game, which is hard to do this two things at the same time. All right? You try and do that, and you see how that works out for you. Right? So, I was like, all right, man. I spent like 6-7 hours playing this game, maybe 8 hours. I was like, I don't know, I'll continue playing it tomorrow. So tomorrow, the next day, I got stuck. I was stuck with this one boss, and I was pissed off at these bosses, and I didn't understand why these bosses are so hard, even on a normal difficulty. Right? So I was still trashing the game because I didn't understand. Right? It wasn't until like a fourth or a fifth day when I finally started understanding, oh, this game is teaching you to observe and think how you fight this boss. What do you need to do to defeat this boss? Think, observe, right? So I started like slowly getting into that mode of thinking and observing like a good detective, right? Trying to figure things out. And what happened is, after I defeated the second boss in the game, I started realizing, wait, so the game is teaching me, all right, what is this boss doing and what do I gotta do? Do I have to time his attacks Do I have to use the morph ball to avoid the lasers when he's spinning around? So the game started teaching. Same thing with these wolves, like trying to understand how to fight these wolves. But it's teaching you. That's when I started realizing this game is teaching you how to solve the problems, how to survive the situation that you're in. And then I started realizing it's almost like a eureka, like the light lit up above my head like a eureka, eureka, eureka. Oh my God, I figured it out. Eureka, eureka, eureka. Eureka. I figured it out. Now I realized, wow. So that's what this game it's about. It's about trial and error. It's about thinking. Why are you scanning so much? That was another thing. People said, oh, you're making fun of this game for scanning. Yeah, that was past tense. That was before I had the better understanding of what the game is. Okay, that was past tense. If you're going to be going back to the past tense, well, that's kind of stupid. I didn't have much of understanding of this game. That's past tense. I'm talking about now. After I have spent more time playing this game, then I realized what this game it's about. I realized this is not your like typical Halo or your typical like first person shooter game. This is a different type of a game that requires different type of a player. And this player needs to be focused and needs to think and needs to use his brain to think about how to solve the problem. It's not for everyone, but I happen to like this because when I first started my gaming journey, it started in 1984 with Spectrum ZX Sinclair. The very first game that me and my brother played was on a Spectrum ZX Sinclair called Lunar Lander. And Lunar Lander, it's about this lunar module that you need to land successfully on the surface of the moon, but you have to conserve your thrust. And the thrust has to be conserved. So you have to think about how you are using that thrust, how you're conserving that thrust, that it can bring you down safely to land. Why am I bringing this point? Because I started with these types of games where I have to think. When I played the Frogger, yeah, Frogger was a simple concept, but it's not like, just crossing that street. How do you cross that street, or how do you cross that highway, right? Without getting hit by a car. So you have to think. You have to time it. So with a Frogger, I have to think, how do I cross this highway? These cars are going faster now. And so I have to time it, I have to think. Same thing with the Tetris. When you're moving those blocks, which way do you move them, how you move them, how fast do you move them, right? To align them perfectly. Once they go down to align with the other blocks, right? So I started when I was younger with these thinking games where you think. And this kind of brought me back to those old days of thinking games, solving problems type games. And this is what I understood. Now, the reason I'm telling you all of this in 13 minutes, Mr. Tony28, ha ha ha, 1, it's because thank God that I received this game from KJ NBA 25 as a gift, because otherwise I would have never paid for this game. And I still would be oblivious to what Metroid is. I would still be trashing on it. I would still be, talking negatively about it. Okay? So if it wasn't for my member, KJ NBA 25, I would have never known what the Metroid Prime is all about. And this is, again, the point that I'm also trying to emphasize on this. Okay? The point that I'm trying to emphasize is this is exactly why the demo is very important. This is exactly why every game should have a playable demo. Because playable demo will let me have a better perspective of what this game is about. I can't just listen to what developers say. Yeah, developers are like a salesperson. They want you to buy the game, of course. A car salesperson, any salesperson, wants you to buy the product. They want you to buy the car. They want you to buy the refrigerator. They want you to buy the furniture. That's their job, is to sell. An artist wants you to buy their product because that's how they make a living. But if you give me a demo, if you let me try it, then I can have a better perspective of what the game is. This is why I have a new rule starting in 2026. I have this new rule because of this Metroid. This whole Metroid Prime 4 drama, if you will. It's been a very... this game is very split, 50-50. Some people like it, some people don't like it. It's 50-50. It's such a split game. This is coming from Nintendo fans. 50-50 on both sides of the aisle. It's 50-50. So, I have this new rule. I will not talk about the game unless I played it. If I haven't played the game, I'm not talking about it. I'm not giving any opinions. Now, I can give an opinion on a trailer. Like, I can tell you what I think about the trailer. Okay, you know, this trailer, it's exciting me, or this trailer. That's, everyone should have an opinion about the trailer, right? And if you're not allowed to have an opinion about the trailer, well, then we're in some very sad situation here, right? If you're going to criticize me for, like, having an opinion on a trailer, well, then I guess we shouldn't have any opinions to begin with, right? So I'll never understand people who just criticize based on people changing minds or having an opinion. Okay, opinions are there for a reason. If you don't want to hear people's opinions, get off the internet. I mean, this is honestly my advice to people. If you are so, like, touchy feelings about someone else's opinion, you should get off the internet. It's bad for you. It means you cannot handle it. You're way too oversensitive of someone else's opinions. Now, opinions do change. They do. You know. And yes, I will have an opinions on a game trailer. Like recently I did an opinion on Tomb Raider. I know it's a computer-generated CGI trailer, but it got me excited for the Tomb Raider. Right? But God forbid I have an opinion about a Tomb Raider trailer, you know. God forbid. But the game's not even out yet. How could you be so excited? It's an opinion about the trailer. It's not an opinion about me playing the video game. It's an opinion about the trailer. Oh my God. Anyway, so I have this new rule now. Beginning of 2026, I will not talk about the product or a game unless I have played it and spend a lot of time playing it. I don't want to do a first impressions. First impressions doesn't do anything. Why you want to hear my first impressions? What is that going to do? That first impression might change once I go deeper into the game. So why you want to hear I don't like the first impressions. I think first impression videos are a waste of time. Like, what you going to find out about the first impression? The opinion might change if I go, like, let's say 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours into the game, and maybe there's something that I don't like. And then you're going to say, well, your first impression was good. Now you're having a second thoughts. Yeah, well, opinions do change. All right, as you travel through the game, you find out new things you like and things you don't like. But according to some people, God forbid that you even have an opinion about that. So my rules are simple now. Starting 2026, I will never talk about the game unless I have fully played it, like spent like at least 20 hours. At least 20 hours playing it. 20 hours will give me a pretty good idea and pretty good perspective of the mechanics of the game, what this game is about, so I'll be able to talk about it. So anyway, that's why I changed my mind. And all of this has been explained. I explained it on my live streams. I've explained it on my previous videos. It's like the Corruption Man X said, apparently you did not watch the video and are asking about the reason for his change of opinion. If you had watched it, you would have the answer. And he's right. He's right, Tony. If you had, subscribed to me, and if you had click on that notification bell button. If you have participated in my live streams, you would know. But since you are a fly-by-night, I don't expect you to. Desperado, Jose also said, God forbid someone change their mind in 2025. I guess I remember when you were allowed to do that. Those were the good times. I know. God forbid. Or also, God forbid, somebody gives you a free game. Somebody gifts you a free game. Jesus. God forbid. And then Shuki Babeba left also a comment. He said, I mean, people needs to watch the videos, which he talks about, why he changed his mind. I know. It's all there. More so, the answer is he needed to play it himself and go through it more. That is with any game, really. Common sense. Like me, question mark. I don't go fully by others' opinions or reviews because I have to play the sad game, or even for the device, I need them in front of me. LOL. This is all common sense. But listen, I see what this guy was doing, and I'm not going to roast him, but I know what Tony28, ha ha ha. That's why he put the ha ha. He's a smarty pants, all right? He wants to be one of those guys like, ooh, gotcha. Well, Tony, ha ha ha, joke's on you. You didn't gotcha me on anything, because there's nothing to gotcha me on anything. Because everything is self-explanatory, everything is documented. It's just you didn't watch my videos, Tony2. So, Tony2, ha ha ha, right back at you. I call him Tony2. I know he's Tony28, but Tony2. Tony2 sounds better. Tony28. Nah, Tony2. You're Tony2. Just sounds better, Tony2. Hey, Tony2, huh? Hey, man, stop busting my balls over here, huh? All right, Tony28. Thank you for the question, but next time, try to keep up with my videos, I'm not roasting you, all right? So don't get triggered by this video, Tony28. Nor am I trying to give you a spotlight. I'm just simply explaining to you and others fly-by-nights. Yes, Tony28 is one of the fly-by-nights, ha ha ha, who have missed Mr. 4K's current affairs. Maybe you should subscribe. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Guys, subscribe, click the notification button. You know how many subscriptions I have? Are you kidding me, dude? I subscribe to so many people daily. It doesn't cost you anything. You just click, like, subscribe. That's it. Share if you want to. Leave a comment if you want to. Because if you are subscribed, I guarantee you, when you open your phone, when you go through a YouTube app, you will see my feed. You will see my videos showing up. Okay? I guarantee you. You click on that notification, that bell. That bell has those little red dot. Yeah, the bell has a red dot. I'm sure you know what the red dot is. The red dot is letting you know that there's new videos, notifications. So click on it. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to use a YouTube app by now. It's almost 2026. So, sorry, Tony28, ha ha ha. The joke's on you, man. Maybe you should watch my videos and keep up with my videos, Tony28, ha ha ha. Or as I like to call him, Tony2. Tony2. Actually, that's a kind of cool name, isn't it? Tony2. But not with a number, with a letter 2. Tony2. Hey, it's me, Tony2, huh? What's the problem over here, huh? What are you busting my balls over here for, huh? I tell you what, man. Tony2. Talk to Matana, man. Oh, I don't want to cuss. I can't cuss. See, because I want this to be a PG. Hey, man. I don't care, man. Hoo-ha. Tony2. Tony2. When you was telling the diapers, Tony2. Guess what I was doing, Tony2? That's right, Tony2. I was getting laid, Tony2. That's what I was doing. All right. I don't want to roast him. Listen, I don't want to roast the guy because the guy was his genuine question. But it wasn't a bad faith. I did reply to him, but it wasn't a bad faith. it was not in a good faith. People say, well, what does this mean? The bad faith is when you're trying to be negative. You're like, oh, I got you. I'm fishing. I got you. You know, you're not being reasonable. You're not being genuine. You're being ungenuine, and you're just trying to earn some, I don't know, extra points by, ooh, gotcha. Ooh, gotcha. You know, you didn't gotcha anything. You know, so the comment was in a bad faith. It wasn't in a good faith. You know, but hey, you're talking to people. Got to remember who they're talking to. Yeah, look at this specimen. What do you think you're looking at? You're looking at Ray Liotta #2. Guys, you know, I've been doing this YouTube for 12 years. People tried. They really, really, really tried. But every time they try, they realize, damn, man, this specimen is unlike any other specimen. Like, I can't win. That's right. And you never will. Because you're not on my level. All right. Anyway, that's me stroking my ego. But anyway, I appreciate all the questions. I really do. All right. And this is not like me trying to roast anybody. It's just me trying to, once again, rehash and explain what I already have explained. Guys, watch my videos. Watch my live streams. It's all there. Oh, and by the way, Shuki, there was a new update for OBS. I updated the new OBS update. So it's a new update now, 32.0.4. If you're watching this, Shuki, so my chat should work. I've been having some issues with the OBS, and yesterday there was an update for OBS 32.0.4. 32.0.4. That's the latest update from yesterday. 32.0.4. So this new latest update that I just mentioned, 32.0.4, hopefully the chat should work. But that's one of the main reasons why the chat wasn't working. It's because I think it has something to do with the update. So hopefully this new update will make it work good. All right. Yes, I'm using OBS, of course. And I think everybody's using OBS software to stream, to record, right? All right. Anyway, sorry that the video is 27 minutes, but you know, there is so much I needed to explain here, and please watch these videos completely. Don't just watch the first 2-3 minutes. Watch the whole thing. If you watch the whole thing, everything gets explained. If you don't watch the whole thing, if you're just a fly-by-night, then how are you going to know what my point is and what I'm trying to say? So watch the whole video and you will have your answers to your questions. Okay. Thank you for watching, everybody. Happy holidays, and I will see you on the next video. As far as streaming Metroid Prime 4, I don't know. Metroid Prime 4, I can't stream it because I need to focus. The game requires a focus, and I have to stay focused, and I have to think. We'll stream something else. We'll stream a video game that we can actually have a conversation, talk, laugh, chat, right? Something easy, simple to play, you know. Metroid Prime 4 I'll play in my own free time because it requires a focus and you know, thinking. Okay? Thank you for understanding, and I will see you on the next video. Happy holidays.